Season 6 of Young Sheldon delved deeply into Missy's defiant adolescent era, but the groundwork for it had begun in the first season. The fact that Georgie subtly implied that Missy was a dumb teenager towards the end of season 11 of The Big Bang Theory ensured that Young Sheldon would have featured Missy's rebellious adolescence. The Big Bang Theory consistently hinted at Missy's disobedience in relation to George's tragic death. Season 6 of Young Sheldon debunked that theory by revealing that Missy's bad behavior began long before George's death. Season 1 of the program had hinted at Missy's impending misdeeds, but Season 6 proved it. In the sixth episode of Young Sheldon's sixth season, Missy showed signs of rule breaking even before she tried to steal George's truck and go with Paige. Her sudden appearances at frat parties were already cause for concern in Young Sheldon's Season 6, Episode 13. But it seems that Paige's unpredictable conduct as a result of her loneliness and Sheldon's concern for her have taken precedence. The misbehavior and disregarding of her family continued after Missy's adventures with Tanya, and it was only until the tornado in the Young Sheldon's Season 6 finale forced her and George to reconcile that she finally stopped. Famously, in the first season of Young Sheldon, the Coopers' equilibrium was upset since Sheldon skipped forward to his older brother Georgie's year, putting them in the same class. Given George's profession as a football coach, this made him fixate on Georgie and his bad emotions after being picked on by other pupils. His younger brother had already gotten ahead of the game because he was brilliant. Mary, too, was concerned that her son, Sheldon, would feel lonely and isolated at his new high school and did her best to reassure him before he made his big transfer. This resulted in Missy frequently being alone. Missy was left to fend for herself, with her opinions frequently disregarded, particularly by Mary, while George occupied himself with Georgie, and Mary devoted herself entirely to Sheldon. When Mary asked Missy why she was acting like a brat, Missy suggested that she might be crying for attention as an explanation, which was a precursor to her eventual rebellion, and the fact that Mary couldn't think of any other compliments to give Missy except her pretty hair was also highlighted in the second episode of Young Sheldon's first season. Going out to get ice cream with Georgie and Missy in Young Sheldon, Episode 4, demonstrated that only Mima had recognized Mary and George's obsession with Sheldon. George took his daughter Missy out to Lobster in Episode 21 of Young Sheldon's first season, which began their tight bond, but he often took their relationship for granted. Mary and George were completely absorbed in Sheldon's needs and difficulties, leaving little time and energy for his siblings, who typically flourished when given more freedom to pursue their own interests. Season 6's revolutionary events, such as Sheldon's journey to Germany and the pregnancies of Georgie and Mandy, further alienated Missy. That could have meant more independence, but it also brought up painful memories of her parent neglect. Nothing was more shocking than being left at school alone while everyone was at the hospital for Cease's birth. It was a clear example of how her parents forgot about her.